Hi, my name is Shannon Costello and I'm a registered dietitian with Corporate Fitness Works. Today we are in my home kitchen and we're going to make a sausage and kale soup. This is one of those comforting soups for cold or gloomy days that gives you both your favorite flavors and some great nutrition. Soups are so easy to put together and make in large batches for the entire week or to help stock your freezer for down the road. In addition, broth-based soups are really good for hydrating when it's cold. Winter hydration is key to supporting a healthy immune system, energy levels, and a good mood. And during the colder months, our body's ability to recognize thirst and dehydration is significantly reduced. So it's really important to continue sipping on water-based fluids, including chicken or vegetable broth. And this is one type of food or meal that you can include into your winter diet to help with your hydration. Now you can either use pork, turkey, or chicken sausage, whatever your preference. This is actually plant-based sausage. And while sausage is a form of processed meat, the soup is going to cut back on the amount of sausage needed by using a meat extender or these white beans. The white beans provide protein and also fiber to add bulk to the entire soup and supplement some of the protein that's found in the sausage that we're cutting back on. So this meat extender method is a great way to still enjoy some of your favorite animal proteins while being mindful of the quantity. Processed meats tend to be higher in sodium, fat, preservatives, things like that, nitrates. So it's best to eat these in moderation and helpful to combine with other foods high in fiber, which we'll get to. Also, you can make the soup vegetarian by just eliminating the sausage piece and adding more white beans or even another can of chickpeas. Okay, so those fiber-rich ingredients are going to be the white beans, so that protein and great trace minerals in here. We have our onion, we have 2 different colored bell peppers, whatever you choose, and of course the kale. Use a sturdy kale like Tuscan or lacinato rather than a baby kale, which is more like spinach. This will hold up better in hot liquids. Kale is rich in vitamins A, C, and K, also vitamin B6, and several key minerals like calcium. So it's a great plant-based source of getting your calcium in. Consuming dark leafy greens like kale is known to lower cholesterol and reduce the risk of developing heart disease. Okay, so we also have some great flavor components here, some fresh garlic. You can use an Italian seasoning blend, or I just make my own with basil, oregano, thyme. You can even do parsley. A little bit of salt and pepper in there. And then we've got our low sodium vegetable or chicken broth. Remember to purchase low sodium, okay? And then you can either add additional broth or simply just add a little more water depending on how you like your soup consistency. And feel free to add other flavor components such as seasonings and optional toppings or serving items like a sliced baguette. Okay, so we're going to start by lining a plate or small baking sheet with some paper towel and then heat either a Dutch oven or a stock pot over medium heat. My stock pot is a little small, so I'm just choosing to cook our sausage in a regular skillet. You can also do that or just reduce the amount of dishes and do it all in one pot. So once this is hot, I'm going to add my sausage links that have been sliced into equally thick pieces here. About a 1/2 inch thick, and we're going to cook each side for about 3 to 5 minutes. We just want it to be lightly golden brown, a little crispy on the edges. And once they're finished on each side, we'll place them on that paper towel lined plate to just soak up any excess fat there, and we'll drain any excess fat if you're choosing to use the same pot. Okay, so all the sausage links are cooked and placed on the paper towel lined plate, and I discarded the excess fat from the other skillet or the same stock pot. So this is still on medium heat, and we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of cooking oil, your choice. I prefer olive oil or avocado, and I like to fill the cap because that's about 1 tablespoon, which is all we really need here just to coat the bottom of our pan. And since the pot is already hot, the oil will heat up quickly. And this is where we will just saute our veggies. So our onions, ooh yeah, hear that sizzle? And our bell peppers. And then I happen to have some leftover celery from a recipe last week, and soups are a great way to reduce food waste and just use some of those leftovers in your fridge. So I went ahead and added those as well, get some extra fiber and hydration in there. So I'll just kind of stir these around so they're coated in the oil and let them saute for about 5 to 8 minutes. They should just barely soften, because once we add the liquid, they'll start to soften even more. Okay, so these veggies have started to soften, and you can see they're releasing some of their water. Hello, hydration. So we'll go ahead and add our minced garlic and our seasonings. Now, tip on seasonings, make sure you measure them out ahead of time rather than pouring straight from the jar, because the steam rising from your pot is going to enter the jar and it's going to make your seasonings all cakey, and then it can go bad quickly. So we're adding the seasonings before any liquid, because this helps release the natural oils in them and really release that really good flavor. And then as far as our garlic goes, we only need to toast it for like 30 to 60 seconds. They're small pieces when you mince, so we're going to make sure that we don't burn them. And then we'll start to add some of that liquid and extra flavor. All right, now we'll carefully add our liquids. So your low sodium vegetable or chicken broth. And for this serving, it's about 4 cups. And I like to stick to just that 1 carton, because now I need an additional 1 to 2 cups of liquid. And rather than opening up a fresh carton, I choose to just supplement with water and use extra seasonings and other flavor components to make up for it. So we're going to turn up the heat a little bit, medium high, and let this come to a low boil. Once it does start to boil a little bit, we'll then reduce the heat to a low simmer and add our remaining ingredients. Okay, great. So I just reduced it to a simmer, which means it should just be slightly bubbling here. And we're going to go ahead and add in our last ingredients. So your white beans, and of course vegetarian, your cooked sausage, and then your kale will go up on top. And I'm going to grab my sausage in just a bit, but we'll kind of stir that kale into the liquid, because that hot liquid is what's going to help the kale wilt into this. And we're just going to cover it and cook it for an additional about 5 to 8 minutes, really just until the kale is wilted, which shouldn't take too long. Ooh, yes, so yummy and comforting. You can add shredded cheese, red pepper flakes, diced avocado, or dip some whole grain toast, a sliced baguette, really to top this off and round out a balanced meal. Now be sure to let any leftovers cool completely before storing in the refrigerator for up to 4 to 5 days, or in the freezer for up to 3 months. A tip on storing soups or any form of liquid in the freezer is to leave at least ½ an inch in the container from the top of the liquid to the lid, because liquids will expand as they freeze and you don't want your container or your bag to burst. So I hope you enjoy all these colorful, warming, and hydrating ingredients.